another race down, another Hendrick Motorsports victory. I'm Amber Wilson with the BF Goodrich NASCAR report for CBS SportsLine. It seems like we'd be better off just taping one of these shows and reusing it over and over again. We sound like a broken record talking about Hendrick Motorsports' domination of the Nextel Cup in 2007. But once again, this weekend, on Friday, Jeff Gordon won the pole, and then his teammate Jimmie Johnson took the checkered flag Sunday afternoon in Richmond, giving him 4 wins so far in 2007. Of the 10 races so far this season, someone from Hendrick has won all but 3. Gordon won the 2 previous to Richmond, and Kyle Busch won the Food City 500 in May. And it seems that the car of tomorrow was built just for them, as they have won all races in those cars. And Gordon and Johnson are 1 and 2 in the Nextel Cup standings through 10 races. But another top 4 for Gordon, his 8th of the year and 6th in a row, keeps him 200-plus points ahead of the pack. The biggest movers of the week were Jeff Burton, who dropped 3 spots after engine failure forced him out of the race on Sunday as he finished dead last. And Hendrick Motorsports' own Kyle Busch finished 2nd to Johnson, bumping him up 2 spots to 6th. And we bring in our own NASCAR expert, Pete Pistone. And Pete, I keep asking you, how good is Hendrick Motorsports and why? But how about this time around? What can the other teams do to kind of catch up to their level?
Well, it's going to be tough. One thing some of the other teams could maybe use a dose of here is some good luck. We saw some cars that had a chance to keep up with the Hendrick guys at Richmond, like Kevin Harvick, have some trouble on pit road, like Kurt Busch, who spun out early and then had a bad pit stop on lap 279 when he maybe should have stayed out instead of come in. If those guys can get some good luck, maybe they can stay with the Hendrick guys, but they're going to have their hands full because the Hendrick Brigade is going to be tough the rest of the way.
All right, the guys at Hendrick Motorsports are obviously not having any problems with the car tomorrow, but some others are voicing complaints like Dale Earnhardt Jr. Will there be changes made to that car in the future?
Well, no, we're not going to see any changes. Junior made some comments, as you said, about the car of tomorrow. We've still heard some guys like Denny Hamlin, like Kyle Busch, even Jeff Gordon say they still don't like a lot of things about the COT. But John Darby, who is the director of the Nextel Cup Series, came out and said there will be no rule changes to the car of tomorrow. Now, whether we see some things put into place for next year, when the COT is expected to run the whole Nextel Cup Series in 2008, we'll have to see in the offseason. But in 07, the rules in place are the ones the guys are going to have to deal with for the rest of the way.
Okay, and without stating the obvious, Gordon, Johnson, and Busch, who has the best chance at winning this week in Darlington, Pete?
Well, you know, I am Mr. Obvious, so it's hard not to pick a Hendrick. But let's maybe look outside the Hendrick stable just a little bit. Greg Biffle, who ran pretty well in Richmond, looking for another win at Darlington. He's won there before, including last year. And maybe Kurt Busch will get back in there. I mean, Kurt's been very good at the beginning of the year here. He's had some bad luck, like we talked about. If he can maybe turn things around a little bit on the luck department, maybe the 2-car can challenge that Hendrick Brigade on Saturday night at Darlington.
All right, thanks as always, Pete. And of course, we look forward to hearing from you this weekend from Darlington. For all of those of you out there, don't forget to check us out next week when we take our first look at the Lowe's Motor Speedway. But for now, if you missed anything here on our show today, stop, refresh, and rewatch. For the BF Goodrich NASCAR Report, I'm Amber Wilson.